FP coming into the qualifier with a chance to be in a PGA Tour event. That's exciting stuff.
As ridiculous as it is for me to be one round away from the PGA Tour, it would be like Miracle on Ice. It would probably be bigger than that because at least that team's in the Olympics.
What do you think you have to shoot, like 5-6 under?
I would think 64.
8 under? Because I've seen you get hot though, where you can make 2-3 birdies in a row.
Sure. You know, I've shot 64s in my career.
Even if like we just had a run where like there's a time like where we're on the leaderboard or we're making a run. Imagine like coming down 17, like Perez is so stoic and I like got the biggest smile on my face too.
Like holy shit, he's on 59 watch.
Bob, your phone is a dangerous device in the sense that this guy could probably send hundreds of photos of every one of us just banging us, and like he gets enjoyment just, like, while we're all together. Just like he'll be like chuckling to himself like a mad scientist, like snapping pictures of us when we're in our most vulnerable states. It's total bang job.
That phone cannot fall into the wrong hands. Because there's a lot of radioactive material in there.
Yeah.
He started getting into this thing where he's just videoing. And then I was always like, how does he get these moments with his pictures? Like he gets his pictures at the perfect moment. And I'm like, he's just videoing these things and he's scrolling through to find the frame that just makes you look the worst.
Yeah.
And he screenshots it.
That's the thing with the video. It's like, why not just take a video rather than take a picture? Because if you take a video, you have the opportunity to get what you're looking for is so much more in a video. Now, I will say, Joey D, I got banged on your last photo for my hairline. I got fucking killed.
You control that. We asked the guy to take a picture. It wasn't it wasn't like the guy snapped a picture with you being unaware. You were looking right at the camera.
Look, whenever I get banged on a photo, I just know that I got so much of it coming to me that I can't. There was nothing. I am in no position to make any sort of complaint whatsoever. Like if I do have my ones where I get banged, I gotta take.
I will say that the picture I chose there was 2 pictures, and the one that I chose was significantly better than the other one. You literally had your eyes closed. You look like you're in another stratosphere. So I tried, but I just thought it was such a good picture in the steakhouse that it deserved to be posted. But yeah, people were coming. People are ruthless now, man. People come for blood. Like I feel like the Brilliantly Dumb page is even more so. Like people will just bang you. Like they have no regard. But the Bob to Sports normally like. They're a little bit more courteous, but sometimes, man, they come out. They came at you in that post.
Yeah, let me ask you something. Was there ever a time when we were in Daytona, and we missed you dearly, but was there ever a time where you looked at us in Daytona and said, man, like I wish I was down there with those boys?
Not a chance.
Like I miss those guys.
Maybe for a second. I mean, we were just coming off of we just came off of a trip, didn't we? We were just in Arizona. So the thought of coming back and then going straight to Daytona was not, ideal. By the way, we can hear you typing.
That's on me.
But besides that, there was when you guys were in the apartment, that video FP had when he was by the pool and he falls in the pool was I was like the banter, like it looked like Mikey V was it looked like I knew. The thing is, I knew the conversations that were happening, and I knew like the banter that was going down at certain moments. So those I did miss. I want to know who came up with those AI photos that surfaced on my Instagram. Yes, where did those come from?
Mikey V's in a real AI kick right now.
Yeah, everybody goes through it.
Hired from Pinata Farm, and he's got this AI situation.
He's got an app.
It's some good stuff coming out of that AI app. I'll tell you that right now.
What is he putting riding the buffalo?
I think you put like a photo in, and then this is my understanding of AI. You put a photo in, and then you just type like keywords. Like you would type like he would throw a picture of you and be like jet, golf, like mustache, and then it produces this like thing.
There's
It
some
was
super advanced ones.
yours went
There's some
hard as
super
hell.
advanced ones that you can like, and they come out all the time, and they're pretty scary. You can like type in like full things, and they'll just make it happen for you.
That one, I didn't even realize he had on the Jet AI photo. He had him obviously up there flying in the jet, but I didn't realize the golf course behind it that he was flying over.
Yeah, I wonder
That
what he.
was
Your
badass.
photo.
Yeah,
What?
My photos were
AI.
awful, man. I looked I looked dopey as hell in those photos. And Perez, I would say, is maybe the best. Perez looked great in that NASCAR outfit,
Me
man.
up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he came out pretty. He came out pretty. The best one is that he put up Perez's shredded back. Like we're
Oh
all
yeah,
just
they called him Trap Perez.
I was, that's good. That's good.
I'll
I
tell
feel
you
like,
what though.
like those rainy days, it was raining the whole time in Daytona, which kind of sucked for the event and everything. But I feel like what those rainy days stuck in an Airbnb with us are like, and what those can
Totally.
like devolve
A
into
lot
as
of
far
fun.
as like it can be a lot of fun. We get going about nothing. We just start talking about nothing. It's just we end up laughing about the weirdest stuff just for hours with no rhyme or reason to any of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
there's always a
especially if like
pool.
we're on a trip. If golf gets canceled, like if it's raining and we can't golf, you're just in for a full day of just clownery, like just straight clownery for a full. I from the time we got to Daytona, I think I laughed for 2 3 days straight. I had the giggles the entire time.
Yeah, you did. You
What
were
is
also
Daytona like?
surfing the clouds.
Like, what is the because you said it was the slowest city you've ever been to, and that video looked pretty slow. But like, what is Daytona like?
I've
Yeah.
never seen so many pairs of Wrangler jeans in my life, Jet.
Well, that checks out.
Touristy, I would say. It's like it's a Florida beach. It's like a beach, like a vacation beach town, but like it's got a big old racetrack in the middle of it. Like it's impossible to describe how big that place is because it's 110, 120,000 seats, I think, but it's all just one side. Like it's just one row on the track.
Wow.
So it's like if you took like the big house at Michigan or like Tennessee, like Neyland Stadium, it's 120,000 in a circle, and you just like flattened it across. That's how like big it is. So it doesn't end. It
On the
just feels like
track?
it doesn't end. What's
Did you
that?
go on the track? Did you go on the track?
Never even saw it.
No pace car, nothing.
Is Yams out?
Damn.
Oh, that's a tough look.
That is really.
That's a tough little look.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
fuck! Fuck! He came back in time.
That's
Yo,
tough.
We didn't even
Yams,
make it onto the track, Yams.
Yams,
It's
I'll
all
tell you
race car.
this. We went to, it was one of the more FP things of all time. We went to do go-karting with two of the NASCAR drivers.
Oh yeah.
Dude, we walk into like this separate room and FP and this driver dap up, and all of a sudden the driver's like, do you know something Burton or whatever? And Perez is like, of course I know him. He's like, Bill Burton? He's like, Bill Burton runs Virginia. And they go into this thing that it turns out they're in a way like family to a degree. It was one of the more wilder FP things I've ever seen.
Perez
That sounds about right.
basically know your whole family. I was
He's
like,
like-
what is going
like-
on
He's
here?
like, Bill Burton does not get told no in Virginia. It was something ridiculous, dude.
It's Harrison Burton is the driver.
Burton is
now.
a big time NASCAR name.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
his father is Jeff Burton,
Sure.
the NASCAR driver, whose brother is Ward Burton. So there's Ward and
Don't know
Jeff. Ward and Jeff Burton were brothers. They were from South Boston, Virginia. Both NASCAR drivers during the our heyday as a kid. Well, my heyday as a kid watching NASCAR. And Harrison Burton is 23 years old. He's a driver now, and that's Jeff's son. So I'm like,
Right.
I saw that we were meeting up with Harrison Burton, but I didn't. Burton's not like the craziest like specific name, so I didn't know that was like the case. So we started talking about his grandfather, who like my dad did business with, and I went to his we did spring break one year at his house in Naples, Florida, and his grandfather used to stay at our place at Wintergreen. So it's this whole thing, and then I come to find out that it's Jeff's son. Well, my when my dad, this is the stupidest shit in the world. When my dad set up my first email account as a child, right? nstudio at Verizon.net, whatever the fuck it
Sure.
was, right? He set up a password for me and gave it to me and said, "Hey, this is your email account." I was like fucking 12. I don't know. And he's like, "I'm going to make these passwords." So he made his password Ward22, Ward Burton 22 car, and he made my password Jeff99. So my passwords to this day are some variation of that. I've added
Sure, you
who
want to?
knows how many nines, special characters, whatever. But my passwords are all a variation of Jeff99, like to this day. And that's
That's
this
so
kid's
weird.
dad.
Are you
It's
sure
this kid's dad. I'm telling this guy who watches our channel, who's a fan of
Yeah.
Bobby Sports, that my Amazon, Netflix, fucking bank passwords are his dad. And it's just kind of very bizarre. It was even weird. It's a weird thing. It's weird. Like if
That
some
is
guy
pretty
walked up to me and
wild.
was like, "The passwords are based on your father," I'd be like, "This is a little odd."
How complex are those passwords though? Because you're just
Complex enough
stating.
that I feel comfortable saying
All right,
that
all
it's a
right.
very
Hey, leave it
F
at.
99 is a decade ago. I've got other numbers in there, but it's all close to it.
Did you do the K1 racing? Because I did that in Austin. That shit is
Oh,
legit.
it's
Wait,
hard,
when you were
dude.
just in Austin, that's when
Yeah,
you
I
did
did.
it?
I did it in
You
Austin.
gotta do
Yeah.
it, man. Your buddy should have gotten
Perez.
video of you on the go-kart for us. That's
Ah.
job
Oh, I'm
well.
sure I'm sure it's somewhere, dude. Those, when you're
It's
watching
hard
them,
to steer, dude.
yeah, when you're watching him, it doesn't look as fast, and then you get in and you are flying. Toughest
Yeah.
pass.
45 miles an hour, and when you're, 2
Yeah.
feet off the ground, well, shit, your head's 2 feet off the ground. You're sitting about this far off the ground, right?
And
It's
also, you
fast.
want to talk about some people who take their job seriously. Whoever's working at those spots, they love that shit. They
True.
I
love
didn't realize
it's
there was
fucking
that many
pit road.
flags. There's a
What'd you say?
black flag, a blue flag, a
Yeah, the
checkered
checkered
flag, a
flag
red
that when
flag,
you drive
green
by, they put the sign up. It's like stop bumping or whatever. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
let's.
Yums, was your body by the end of it, were you exhausted?
No, my left leg was having issues because there's nowhere to put it. You know,
That's
they
true.
tell you don't.
big old stop.
You did K1
Yeah,
all right.
they
You
go.
sure did. You sure
They
did.
have a break. There's a break on the thing, but you're not allowed to hit it. So
Yeah.
you just sit there with your left leg dangling off like you're in a golf cart. It was weird.
Yo,
A lot of fun though. I had a blast.
Perez started out the race where he was moving, dude. Like Mikey showed him a video, like these race car drivers who were so much better than us, and you wouldn't think it would take that big of effect just going 45 miles per hour. They know the different angles to take and whatnot. The first 2 laps, they couldn't get around FP. Like they couldn't.
Catch me. The guy told me, he's like, "It took me 2 laps to catch you." It's like I was shocked.
Did they have the leaderboard up where they were like showing how fast people were going?
I took it home. I mean, compared to
Yeah,
the
he did,
2
he did.
NASCAR
Out of
drivers,
3 of
came in
us, he
first.
took it home. I
Yeah,
lost steam, dude. I couldn't steer anymore.
yeah.
I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm not an excuse guy, but I'm carrying around. I'm having to turn quite a bit more weight than the rest of these guys are. I imagine a 150-pound backpack on the back of you trying to steer. Like
When
I,
they give you
I just lost it.
He's really flying out here with Perez holding a lead. He has not given up his lead. He has not given up his lead to 23 car. Robert Berger with a nasty wipeout up there, and we are going into some Austin Powers lost in the warehouse moment. Everyone is trying to catch Mr. Stubby. Mr. Stubby, as smooth as you like him around the rail, on his tail, not willing to give up, not willing to give in, and he's been passed on the inside track, and Stubby is down. Stubby is down.
when they give you the shiesty mask at the beginning, that's when you know it's legit. That's when you know, like, oh, well, we're in for something here.
Yo, you know what it took me back to when they gave that mask? It smelled like Micromania.
Micromania.
Yeah, dude. When I put on
Yeah,
that
that's
ref
not bad.
shirt that they gave us and it just stunk, that's kind of what it took me back to. But it's like you can hear in my audio, I'm cracking up laughing the whole time because like when you're coming around the bend and then you start to realize that it's like FP or that it's like Joe, it's like it felt like a Mario Kart. And like as I'm coming around them, it's the funniest shit to go by them or be behind them. I just couldn't stop laughing.
It was
Yeah,
like a lot. It was just a lot of fun.
It
We
is.
have they put the cameras on top of they stuck cameras.
Oh, are
on
there
top of
videos
our
coming out of
helmets.
this?
We have it's video
Ah.
and audio from each of us. And I think I was pretty quiet. You lost Bob's. He's silent, and then he comes up on somebody, and
Laughing his
you
ass
can
off.
see the moment he realizes it's Joe or me. He's like, "It's him."
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was.
Joe's like cursing. He's like his cart stopped. He's like, "What the fuck?" It's pretty fucking great. Those
Yeah,
videos are pretty
in
hilarious.
Joe's like first 2 minutes, like he's like slamming because he's pissed that they stopped his car, and then next is just "fuck you, Bob," like
Yeah, I
just
was
right
swearing at
out of
Bob
the
the whole
gate.
time.
it was it was special. All right, boys. Well, we got a big trip on the horizon. Myrtle Beach coming in hot, a long doozy of a trip, but we've had a nice break, so we're gonna get a lot in. I don't know if we talked about it too much. FP coming into the qualifier with a chance to be in a PGA Tour event is one of the wilder things that I've ever heard of. Me on the bag, which is even wilder. That's exciting stuff.
Bob, are you gonna
Yeah,
get any reads?
I think he knows. He knows not to get. I'm just gonna make sure that, like, to be honest, like caddying for, like, I just don't want to be in the way of anybody. Like, I'm just gonna try and get out of the way and just be like good vibes. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Stewie, but I think he knows not to ask me for a read.
your your um your short putting is very good. Your instincts on short putts. You make a lot of short putts. So I might come to you on a short putt. But yeah, anything. If you guys watch that waste management um
Oh,
that one, you had a couple putts on the first few holes that were just drastically off. They were
Yeah,
really bad reads, but you agreed.
bad reads from Yaman.
Yeah, I
Bang.
think I'll
yeah.
I'll give you a little rundown of what I like. We got to have a little conversation on the bag, right?
Am I
Uh,
gonna have a rangefinder?
yeah, I think they'll let us have a rangefinder usually in these things, but we'll figure that out. Otherwise, we'll figure it out. It's going to be a nice crash course for you in caddying, but I just need your vibes out there, dog. I mean, let's be honest. This is there's it as ridiculous as it is for me to be one round away from the PGA Tour.
Could you imagine that, man?
There's just it's looking at these guys that are playing in it. It would be the upset. It would be like Miracle on Ice. It would probably be bigger than that because at least that team's in the Olympics. It
What
would
do
be
you
like
think it
bigger
is?
than that.
What do you think the honest Vegas odds would be of you winning this thing?
I've got to be in the bottom, two or three guys.
How
And
many
Harrison-
people are there?
Harrison Burton?
There's 20.
There's 16, I think.
16,
I thought
16
it was
people,
18.
16 guys. 8 of them are YouTube guys, but they're all great. I mean, you got Grant, you got Micah, you got George Bryant, you've got one of the Busted Jack guys, either Cole or Mason. You've got Luke Kwan, you've got Rappaport, who, from everything I'm seeing online, looks like he's playing pretty well, and he played well in the Good Open. So, and then the other 8 guys are like Corn Ferry, big time college guys. I got one guy played on the Live in the first year. Um,
And there's only one who goes in.
yeah, whoever shoots the lowest score is
Are
in
you
there.
gonna have to
So
shoot
I
like
mean,
5-6 under?
no, dog. These things, I would think 64, 63 or 64.
8 under?
Yeah,
What's
I think
what's
so.
par? 72?
72, but yeah, normally in like a Monday qualifier, 64 gets you into a playoff. 63 normally gets you the spot. I mean, obviously, it's not quite that same competition. I'm just trying to, dog. I'm just trying to put up a score I can be proud of.
Because I've seen you get hot though, where you can make 2-3 birdies in a row,
Sure.
and like I think you just if you and you hit fairways consistently from the tee box. So
We
like
play, when we film, we're at 66, 67, maybe 6,500 yards. This is going to be from 7,000. This is going to be from the tips. It's going to be 7,000 or more, which, is not a good, that makes it more difficult on me because I don't hit the ball a long way. So, I mean, look, I'm trying to be at par or better, right? If I can shoot even par, I'm going to feel pretty good. I would say. I mean, I've shot 64s in my career, but I'm not quite that same player that I was at my best.
Bob, imagine he
He's
made
in there.
it. He made what would be the PGA Tour tournament that like what did they announce what the tournament's going to be? Which one?
Yeah.
What,
It's
what, what
the Myrtle Beach Classic in May. It's the opposite event to the Wells Fargo.
Yo,
The Wells Fargo.
imagine that, man.
even if Perez just like breaks down the last 3 holes, like if we just had a run where like there's a time like where we're on the leaderboard or we're making a run,
I would go nuts.
I would
the
love
juices.
I would love the birdie one. Just birdie
Exactly.
one. Get like a little bit
Exactly.
of hype, like holy shit, he's on 59 watch.
Yes.
He's trending for 18 under right now. Birdie,
My
it's like that's when the cameras perk up, and yeah.
my thing too is like that I'm just really going to be providing the good vibes, but I got to remember too, like I can't get too hyped up. Like I feel like if we birdie one, I would be like, oh my God, let's fucking go. Here we go, Perez, and like really fired up where like I almost got to maintain it. Cause you know how he is. Like he just stays at that one wavelength. Like very few times is the caddy more hyped up than the player. Which is a thing. But you're right. If you could just even just birdie one, that would be fucking awesome. Because then we're like, all right, we're gonna make a run here.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'll be in a little bit different. Like obviously when we're doing our Bob to Sports videos, I'm in I'm having a good time. We're joking around. Tournament mode for me is probably a little bit different. So I think it's gonna be cool to see, maybe we'll see how people feel about it. But I think it'll be cool just to see me in that kind of mode. Because we're gonna get content. We're gonna make a video out of it too. That we get to release after they kind of release their hero piece or whatever. So it'll be a kind of a look at how I am in a more, I guess, competitive setting. I don't care. I want you to do what you want to do. What I wouldn't want you to do is to like come to me when I am staying the way I stay and be like, let's go, Perez. Let's see some energy. Like you can freak out all you. I want you to have a good time out there and have fun, but don't like try to make me do that. I'm not gonna
let you be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna get upset by you getting any sort of way. I'm
That
gonna
would
be
be
kind of
so
in a
fucking
zone.
awesome,
Dude,
man.
imagine,
What I don't wanna
like
do
coming
is
down 17, like Perez is so stoic, and I like got the biggest smile on my face too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
You would too.
When I did the Good Championship in May in Arizona, when they kind of did like a similar thing to like prize money or whatever, I hadn't been playing as much, and I doubled one, and that was just like the end of it. Like,
No.
like I knew I had to play like my very best golf to even like make that like top 12 or whatever it was, and doubling, it's just like I feel like I'm out of it. The storyline shit, like like Perez is out of it from the fucking first hole. So as long as I can just like settle in, I'd love the birdie one, but even if I can just string a couple pars in the beginning just to kind of get going out there, um, I just don't want to fucking come out. I haven't played since
It's been a while.
I haven't played since shit. It's been I think the
2
last
hours.
round of golf no. It's been like the 28th of January.
Holy
I
shit.
haven't played in almost in over in 3 weeks. So I should probably do that this week. It's so cold here. It's like the worst place to be right now to like try to work on my game. Did you know that Bob, you remember that video you took when we were in Chicago when we left the DraftKings lounge and we were in the DraftKings Sportsbook. We were in the cab and I was sprawled out, passed out with my belly out in the back of the van.
When I
Yes.
fell asleep watching the bunker video.
Joe had fallen asleep to the bunker video.
Yeah.
So the guy that bunker video, the guy that does that is his name's Bryce Cope Golf. He's in Virginia Beach. That's where he's at. So I'm actually going down to see him on Friday to get like a little bit of like see if he, just have somebody look at my swing and give me a little something here and there ahead of next week. So yeah, I remember he saw that clip. He's like, "Damn, I got to make my videos a little more exciting."
Oh yeah.
I was so tired. It could have been anything on
You would
that
have fallen
screen.
asleep to fucking anything. Don't you?
Yeah, tell him
Yeah, that is true.
Video.
To
I
fucking
would have
Die
fallen
Hard,
asleep
you
to a
would've
rock concert. I
Yes.
was so exhausted. That was a long trip. Bob, going back to you on the course and how you get animated, Perez, I'll never forget the first ever tournament that Bob and I played in together. We signed up for a PGA memes tournament at Trump Palos Verdes, where we played a few times. And this guy was treating this thing like the Masters. We got paired up with Marissa. This I guess she's on and off. She used to be
That was
part
from
of
the
the
Dr. Dabber video.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
we hit a few birdies in a row, and then we eagled. Like I think Bob chipped in from off the green. And this guy went fucking ape shit, and he kept looking at me. He's like, "This is us. We got this." Like, Bob, I don't think you realize someone's gonna turn in like a 60 on the scorecard, and like we're gonna be fucked. He's like,
Joe
"No,
turned in like 8
I
or
think
9
we
under. Turned like
somebody
8 or
was
9
like,
under
yeah,
on
we
a
were like,
scramble event, thinking you
Let me
guys
tell you
had
something.
a chance.
The people that won
he
that.
was going nuts."
What, 20, 19, 20
Oh
under?
yeah, he was like, we were like 7 under after like 9, and he's like, or like after 10 holes, he's like, "We got a real shot here, da." I'm like, "No, we don't, man.
You know
We
what
got
it
no
was?
chance."
It was we started off so hot, and you could see on the app. It was really cool. I've never seen one of these tournaments have it where you could see where you were on the standings. So like after you birdie, you see yourself go up. So there was a time where it was like, holy shit, like we're gonna have a shot. And then yeah, we came in like 8 or 9 under. I want to get to the point where like I want to have like golf. I'm probably the least competitive because I just don't trust what I'm doing. Like if I'm playing Madden or if I'm playing things that I know, I'll get competitive because I know it. Like I want to be able to get more. Not to say that I can't get competitive with the golf, but like it's hard to get as competitive where you just don't trust what you're doing. Like I just know how much better. Like if we do the 2v1s versus Perez, I just know how much
It's
better
gotten bad. It's gotten bad.
that he is.
It's
That it's
gotten.
hard to get
We
like,
used to win at least like we
bro.
started
We
out
used
winning a
to.
bunch, and then at some point the flip switched, and now it's like I don't think we'll ever win again because like as soon as we get even close, we just bang ourselves.
I think the thing with that is, correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry to cut you off, Joe. Like I think Perez has gotten definitely better from the times that we first started playing with him. I know I've got a little worse. I'm not going to speak for you, Joe. I know I've definitely gotten worse. So those gaps have
I don't know if it's
just
gotten worse.
I don't think that's true. I think
Off the
overall
tee
you
box,
got
off the tee
better.
box lately, maybe, but like your short game, your approach shots from like 150 in are normally pretty solid, and then your putting is good, and your chipping is pretty solid. Your bunkers have gotten better. Like I'd say for the most part, aside from the tee box, you've gotten significantly better. I think with both you and I, our problem is mentally we are like as weak as it comes. So like I will have a streak where mentally I'm dialed in, I feel good, and I will just be fucking like I'll par 5, 6 holes in a row. As soon as one bad thing happens, I melt down. Like I absolutely just I cannot get
your
out of my
golf
own
game is
way. So I think you're similar to me in that respect. Like you ride the wave when you're going good, you're going really good, and then when it's bad, it can be a train wreck.
By the way, we won't give up what happened, but Joey D, you filmed with Grant a week or two ago at Panther National, the new course, Justin Thomas's course. How did that go, Joseph?
That's I mean exactly how I said. There was a stretch where like Grant gave me strokes, and I'll be honest, I was playing very good golf. I've been very aware the last few rounds when I blow up, and I know it's good content, people love it. But when I blow up, the round is over. Like it's completely finished. So I've been trying to strike like even I think Bob, there was that one hole in the waste management video when we played TPC Stadium. It looked like I was derailing, and I tried very hard to be as positive as possible in my own way, and that'll give me an opportunity where I can at least get it back. But it's
Your game is kind of like your personality. Like your game is like that
sporadic
bull
as fuck.
in a china shop. Like there's now that we're like he could just shoot the fucking lights out, and then yeah, it really it kind of is like your personality.
I will
Yeah,
say
you gotta
to you,
find a sorry, you gotta you've in the past it feels like you're trying to like create this perfect round, and the moment that one hole goes bad, everything is ruined because no matter what you do from here on, that hole will always be there,
yeah,
right? Even if you par out after the blow up, you're going to end the round and be like, God damn it, if I didn't just blow it up. So the chances are you're not going to par out because all you're thinking about is that 10 you
Yeah.
make, right?
Yeah, and
So
I think sometimes I have a score in mind or like a
yeah,
place where I
yeah,
want to be.
yeah.
I did that again with Grant. Nicole messaged me. She's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm playing great," and it was like the kiss of death. As soon as I did that, it all fell apart. And then I was like, "Okay, I need this many pars at this point now to get to where." And I'm thinking this in my head, and I think it only makes it worse rather than just taking a shot at a time.
Yeah, because you actually don't make pars. If you think about it, you don't make birdies, you don't make pars, you make golf shots,
Yeah,
right? So it's really just about hitting the best shot that then results in those things. So when you start thinking like, oh, I just need to make 6 more pars, that's not something you can do. You can't just be like, I'm going to make a par. You have to hit a drive, you have to hit a green, you have to do
yeah.
putts. So it's like you're also a little superstitious, I would say, in a lot of different things that you are. You're very vibes
Yeah,
oriented.
I'm
You're
extremely
very like the universe oriented. So when you say like I said I was playing well, like that text message doesn't affect anything. But in
I
your
should have known
mind,
better though,
you
FP. I should
think it.
never.
You got to get that out. That doesn't
You gotta
exist.
understand. I'm an ex hockey goalie. We're as superstitious as
Sure,
they come.
but it's not helping you. So
No, it doesn't.
you
No.
gotta windshield and you gotta not rear view. So the moment you make a 10, you're gonna have these bad blow up holes, right? Until you get better at golf. That's why you're the
Yeah,
handicap that you
I
are,
will
right?
say, and Bob, I think will agree. The times I feel like I play the best, like from start to finish, is like the times when we just go to fuck around and like we just having fun. And I think that's the big thing is when I just have fun on the course and I don't really think about anything else. I'm more likely to play better because I'm not putting
Yo,
pressure on myself.
Exactly right. It's because you're not
uh,
trying to do anything. You're just hitting the next best shot. And all the other, it doesn't matter what you shoot. So the moment you stop caring about the end result, you're gonna do better in the lead up to it.
yo, I'm a fucking hero at Balboa National, Balboa Municipal. Like I'm the
Yeah.
fucking man at Balboa. Am I not,
holds the
Yams?
course
No,
record.
you are. He hits
I'm the
high draw.
man.
Because it doesn't
It's high
matter.
draws,
The score doesn't
I
matter.
draws.
He hits
Yo,
high draws, man.
dude, you ask the Duke. The Duke will tell you that I'm a scratch golfer.
golf is not like golf is not like football or like hockey where like you want to get riled up right before you go out of the tunnel and like get yourself amped up and like understand how big the moment is, really focus. Like it's the opposite of that. You want to listen to classical music, you want to get your heart rate down.
Yeah.
You want to picture yourself like when you have a 40-foot putt when you have a 5-foot putt, you want to put yourself on the practice green 100 times where it doesn't matter. You can't make the moment or the golf shot bigger than just the fact that it's like I hit the shot on the range an hour ago. Perfect. You got to put yourself back there. It's easier said than done. Obviously,
Yeah.
like we're out here making entertainment videos and like that. At the end of the day, that's what matters most. But like, when you got to just the mental thing, you can spend hours and hours and hours hitting golf balls, but if you don't get your mental game in the right spot, none of that's going to matter.
You know where it happens too sometimes is like when we go to play like a really nice course or like a big time spot, like I always want to play better at those places because it's like, damn, this is a really sick course. Like if I could say that I shot well on it, it would be awesome. And again, I think it's just added pressure that just ends up banging you. But like when I used to play hockey, like I would get fucking psyched up for the game and like I'd go into it with like jitters and excitement and like fucking ready to get out there. And it's just such a different dynamic and such a slower paced sport. It's really different than anything else. It's like I think mentally, like I need to take a course just to understand like where my range of emotion should be throughout the round. Like I feel like if you analyze my brain compared to FP's during a golf round, it would be hysterical to see just like he'd be like this and I'd be like fucking, it's crazy.
There's a book that you should start there before you go talk to anybody. It's called Golf is Not a Game of Perfect by Dr. Bob Rotella. He's renowned sports psychologist, works with big time athletes. I think he works across all sports. Um, that's a book that every golfer should read when they start caring about the scores or wanting to improve their scores, right? You don't need to read it when you're just picking up the game, but when you're starting to like break 90 or break 100 and you want to start getting yourself really dropping, that book it just puts everything in the right perspective. I read it probably like every other year just to like kind of resync everything. But that would something I would recommend to anyone listening, and certainly to you, Joe. Go check that one out.
I think back to the Myrtle Beach qualifier. I'd be curious. It's such a smart idea from their end just to get eyeballs on it, and it's so different. But like, I would be curious if, not to take anything away from the PGA by any means, I tune into these every single weekend, but like, I would be curious if this Myrtle Beach qualifier, if it was on CBS or whatever, I'd be curious to see the eyeballs that this gets compared to the Riviera tournament just gets. Because I know from me, I'll be very curious to watch all of that shake out. Like, even if for us aside, like, even if you weren't playing in an FP, I would want to go and watch to see how this all shakes out. And I think it's really, really cool. But yeah, I think from their end, it's got to be a good idea. And the eyeballs it's going to get, I would think, if they had it streaming, would be interesting.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. When you first told me about it, when I first heard about it, especially for a tournament it's its first year on the PGA Tour, so they haven't had this in years past in Myrtle Beach. It's so smart to kind of get that tournament like getting talked about in any way, shape, or form, and obviously to bring in 8 people that have a pretty big audience. I mean, I think you can look at all of our videos and all these other creators' videos and what those numbers do, and I mean, it has like a Sunday feel, right? It's a one round, one or done. So I think, to me, if that was on live TV, um, I feel like it would, just with the guys playing in it and the stakes and it being almost a Sunday feel, to me, it should do better. I think it would do better than like a Thursday, Friday of a non-major, right?
Sounds crazy to say, but in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, it's really not. I mean, I
No, it's
really.
and I watched Mr. Short Game video of his, and he was talking about the NBC coverage of Good Goods thing, and apparently, if you clicked in on the YouTube, they had at one point 100,000 people watching, which was more than the last Live tournament with John Rahm, with Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka. I mean, so it's not a wild statement at all, Bob, and especially if you think about the fact that you got Perez, you got Grant Horvat, you got the Buster Jack and the Brian Burrows guys. Like, those are all guys who have a high following on YouTube. So I think a lot of interest would be on that. But are they going to air it on anywhere, or are they going to stream it, or what are they going to
So
like? What are they doing?
they've got a whole camera crew for the tour. So I think it goes on they're going to film it live the day of, and then I think they're going to release it on the 23rd or 23rd of April, I believe, on YouTube. I don't know if it's either going to be on the like Play Myrtle Beach Golf YouTube, or I mean, I know the tour is involved. I think the tour is doing the production of it. So,
That's cool, man.
I mean,
Sweet.
and then we'll be able to release our kind of perspective of it. I think we'll do something like a Perez versus the field, so part of that series that we've done, just to kind of give an insight of me kind of in this competition and what that looks like. Not a traditional one-on-one match, but 1v15, I guess. But I mean, it's really smart, and I don't think that I don't think they would tell you that they're rooting for anybody, but I don't think there's any secret that when you look at like when George Bryant got that exemption into the Bermuda tournament and then ended up making the cut, and all the social stuff that I know you guys saw, because I saw it
It was
all
all over
over
the
there
place.
from Callaway through PGA Tour. There was a lot of engagement and a lot of hype, as there should be, because George has got a great following on YouTube that he's worked hard to cultivate. So I don't think it's I would expect that the Myrtle Beach tournament and the guys putting this on are certainly rooting for one of the 8 YouTube guys to potentially get this spot, because it would bring some serious hype going into the event and through kind of the first at least couple days of tournament week.
I'm
But
pumped.
regardless of the result, it's a cool thing to participate in, and it's a really smart idea for certainly a first time tour event, or any of these kind of smaller tour stops that aren't signature events, aren't majors. I think you might see a lot of these events with sponsors exemptions not spoken for, maybe trying to do something like this themselves.
I wonder how many people are going to be there. Like, are they selling tickets to it?
I don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't believe
That would be really cool. And also it'd be great exposure for the Bob to Sports channel too, just to kind of like a lot of people who, who like to watch golf and golf tournaments don't necessarily follow YouTube golf. So they see Perez coming up to the tee box and they're going to be like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anyone going to be there because they're protecting the result, which I understand. That's one of the things, is to not release anything until they put that hero piece out or that video out. So I don't think it's going to be a live component, but regardless, it's going to be kind of, I haven't done anything like this. I haven't played competitive golf in some time, and obviously I've never played in an event that has the stakes.
Well, you played in a couple Bob to Sports majors.
Sure, I played some majors, of course. That's important. But even college golf, high school golf, state golf, like, I've never had the opportunity to play in a PGA Tour event if I won. Like that, I've gotten trophies and titles and all this shit, but like, I've never played anything like this. I may never play in anything like, regardless of what I shoot, I was one round away from the tour. So that'll be the story for my grandkids.
You do yourself a favor. Just imagine you're playing me and Bob. You'll wax that ass.
The only thing I'll say, like, watch FP go win this thing, and then he gets the exemption, and then he like makes the cut there, and then it's like, all right, fuck, we just lost FP. Like, we lost him to the tour. And I like, fuck.
It'd be the greatest story. It'd be like the caterpillar into the butterflies.
Dude,
it'd be unbelievable. The metamorphosis.
There's some sneaky guys that too, like, obviously you're gonna have like those Corn Ferry guys and whatnot, but like even a guy like Mason Nutt, like if he goes off, or like any of these guys, and I fucking love Rappaport. Rappaport can flat out play. I do hope he bogeys the first hole, because he busted my balls in the DM. He banged me in the DMs about my shank. Jeez. Well, on my shank, like, some people came up and they were like, "Oh, Bob, you suck," shit like that. But Rappaport was like, "Bob, your action is disgusting. Like, look at that left knee, tail out." I'm like, damn, dude. Like,
Bob finally
take it easy,
Bob
dude.
finally realized what it feels like to be in my shoes. He finally got the bad comments. It took a shank of magnitude proportions to finally get some of those bad comments.
I could wear it, no problem. But it was like a personal attack. He's like, that action is disgusting. Look at the knee flail out. And I was like, thanks for stopping by, Dan.
Yeah,
but
there weren't any LOLs or emojis in that.
No, throw an LOL at the end and we're fine. But he was like, but
I think it helped you that Tiger, on the same day that video comes out, hits a cold shank in the zone. He kind of got off the hook with that.
This guy, the world is always turning in his favor, man. He has the shank of all shanks, and then literally Tiger the next day has an exact replica.
Same day.
Same hole.
Oh,
same club.
God. He messaged me. He's like, "I'm getting banged." I'm like, "Welcome to my world, da."
Yeah, look, it is what it is.
I actually played well in that Scottsdale, in the TPC course, and then Jet put up the video of me just with the worst shot of all time. People are like, "Yo, this guy fucking sucks. He's never been worse." And I'm like, "Watch the video. I actually bounced back okay and shot all right, but like, especially the back nine."
We all got our own stories.
Good. It's good for engagement.
Yeah. All right, Yums. Let's head over again. No Poppy here today. He could be in Louisiana. Poppy could be in Texas. He could be K1 racing right now. We don't know.
Probably Morristown, Pennsylvania, though. If I had to guess.
Of course. Yeah. Why wouldn't he be?
All right. I've got. He always reads the names. I always forget to read them. Kevin Sheets _21. Says, what is the most underrated golf course you have ever played?
Underrated.
It's a good question.
Wow.
Like in the Bob Does Sports channel?
I'll
think it
say
doesn't
this.
matter.
I've said this before. And
I know what you're gonna say.
it's more
Just say
park.
more park.
I think more park. And out there, look, it's a drive from West Hollywood. But you guys, I remember when you guys were first talking about this place, and I asked you, like, "What's Moore Park like?" Before I ever came out to LA, you're like, "Ah, it's all right." It's a golf course. They're cool with us filming, so we go out there. I get out there. It's stunning. It's stunning setting. You're up on these like ridges, and it's super elevations, beautiful views. It's like one of the better places we've played in
I'll give mine.
we
Three
were
different-
supposed to film out there with Foreplay when I was sick as a dog. U.S. Open week, they went out there, made a video, and they were saying the same thing. They're like,
Yeah.
I'll give mine the place that I don't think gets nearly talked about enough. And we played there twice, I think, in Scottsdale, was Dinosaur Mountain. I thought that place was you got that one par 3 that you literally see the entire desert. And I thought just the course itself is awesome, but it never gets talked about. It's always Troon, it's always Quintero, it's always TPC Scottsdale. I thought it was just as good as almost any of those courses, and in great shape. They were so good to us. Like every time we went out there, they fucking rolled. Great little halfway hut, Bob. Remember that halfway hut where we got
nice
all the
little
food?
bar they got there.
I thought that place is really fun, and no one really talked about it too much.
Yeah. I think back to the Moore Park thing, one of my favorite things with Moore Park is it's such a chill vibe. Like you could finish your 9, eat the best Caesar wrap in the game, and you could kind of just like hang there. You don't have to like keep it going. And then you just roll up to the tee. Like it's a loose vibe. Yams, do you have one? Chevy Chase?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was underrated, but it was I would say that St. Andrews, the old course, not because it was underrated, but because at least we were told that there were other courses there that were going to like knock our socks off, which they did, but not like St. Andrews. Like that was the peak of the peak.
The only thing I'll say, I think the nicest course I may have ever played, it's either Shadow Creek or what is it, Dumbarney or
No,
Doug
you're thinking
Barney
of-
links
not
was
Dumbarney.
awesome.
You're not thinking of
No,
Dumbarney.
I'm thinking Kings Barnes,
I
Bob.
think
Kings
Barnes.
Kings Barnes.
King-
Great.
that
I
I
think
think is
St.
the
Andrews
nicest
is
course
better.
I've ever played.
I'll tell you the one that shocked me over there was St. Andrews Castle course. The last one I played with just
I
Rick
know. I
on
wish I
the
would have
final
played
day.
it.
He was like, I think it's like not really talked about that much. And as far as the St. Andrews, there's like the new old course, obviously, and the new course right next to the old course. There's like a Jubilee. Dude, the Castle course is like sitting up on the bluff. You can see into the village where there's the ruins of it was freaking sweet. And that was supposed to be the worst one of our trip. I think everyone we played. Dumbarney the first day was
Dumbarney was. He was like. I was like, oh, how is this course? He's like, it's you know, it's a newer course. We got out there, and I looked at Perez. I'm like, yo, this place is fucking beautiful.
Yo, but Jet, FP, he's already got a Jupiter boys trip mapped out with his boys for like 2 weeks from now. They're doing
When
like
is
all
that?
around. All
They
around
arrive on
Jupiter.
they arrive on the 7th.
And when do you move in?
So that'd be 2 days. 2 days after I get back.
I want in on that one, that Ochobi or what?
Okay.
What is that one place? I want in on that.
Apogi?
Apogi, or you know the one.
Sweet. Apparently it's sweet.
Dude, I am so ready for this Jupiter move. Like I can't wait. I am so ready. I start the moving process this week. So Joe, the prank is not on. We are coming. It's really
That's
started to
me.
hit me this week.
I put the video of the sunset up on my story last night. People were like, yo, are these guys coming or what? And I was
Every
like,
time I do an AMA, it's always like, are you guys, tell me, like, are you guys really just pranking Joe?
yeah. I will say this.
What's your
It's,
underrated spot, Bob? Was it King?
King Barn, I don't know if it's like highly rated or not. To me, that's probably the nicest course I think that
well,
that
Rick
I've ever
was
played.
raving about it,
Yeah,
though.
that one's
Yeah.
serious.
What
about from the Virginia? Something in Canada? Something in
the Virginia golf blew me away. Honestly, what I was so surprised about was when you took me to your club, even before they got in, I didn't realize it was going to be as nice as that was. Like that, I just didn't realize in general that
That
the golf
infinity
there.
pool overlooking
Yeah.
the 18th hole.
Yeah.
Oh, that place. Yeah, that is a
Oh, you're
different.
talking about the one in town, the Federal Club, the one in town.
The one that me and you went to. Yes.
Oh, okay. You guys
Oh,
never. I
no.
never took you to that one.
No, I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about
Keswick's-
Keswick.
Yeah, that's look. That was the accountant with short hair and his wife coming in for a tour. I don't think they would have let me in. Rolling in with a fat Perez crew neck.
Or the Kinlock was out of this world.
Yeah, but Kinlock's the top 50 golf course in the country.
Don't sleep on that omelet too. That's one of the better omelets I've ever had. I'm telling you, Joe, this thing was out of this fucking
I feel like
world.
Bob would take a club membership strictly on whether or not the food was outstanding.
That's even a question. We were talking about where we were going to go in Jupiter, and he told us down in Daytona. He's like that first meal at the club when we go to tour is going to be more important than they realize. I'm like, yeah,
It really is.
He comes in somewhere and the facilities are great, the golf course is great. They're going to let us do our thing, and he gets like a bad salad or like a bad wrap or something.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a deal breaker for him.
It close to it. It really would be, dude. That's going to be a big part. And on the other count, like if I have a great Caesar wrap and the course is kind of like okay, I'd get that membership.
Oh my God.
Wild.
Yeah,
That's insane.
why don't you fire away another question there, pal?
All right. C Maurice 96. We might have had this question before, but it's a great question. What is your favorite sports jersey of all time?
I got mine.
I'm pretty sure we've had. I remember having the conversation.
Yeah.
I've had I wore it all throughout high
No,
school.
but it's not. I don't even know if it's your favorite or just your favorite, like color, like your favorite.
Oh,
That's what I would
say.
say. That's what I thought.
we think best.
I think it's the one you think is the best, like the coolest one.
because I had a Ed Reed Miami Hurricane jersey that I wore the shit out of in high school. It was so badass.
I think you got to go. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm going to go with an NBA jersey that I think is really sick, and they still throw it back sometimes, is the Vancouver Grizzlies teal jerseys. Yeah. I remember when they first brought those things out, and it's a shame the Grizzlies sucked for years because their jerseys were so sick. They had that giant grizzly just tearing the shit out of a giant G. Yeah, it was so fuck. And then it had like the native like embroidery around the collar.
Lines, like the little
it was so cool. And I think last year, I don't know if they're doing it still, but last year they brought them back and they wore them and they look so good. I would go with that, or I would also go. I always liked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers third jerseys, those like pewter orange creamsicle jerseys with the actual where they wore the Buccaneer on the helmet. I thought those were so sick back because they were just different than anything else by far in the league that you would ever see.
Yeah, it was fucked.
I'm a sucker for like the white jerseys. Mine would probably be the old school because I was such a big fan of them. The New Jersey Nets jerseys when they had like Keith Van Horn, and even the way that the floor, their hardwood, it was so sick. I used to have I had a Kerry Kittles jersey. I just was like die hard. I loved me some Nets basketball.
Kerry Kittle.
What is yours, FP?
I think when we had this question before, I said those old Pistons uniforms, those Grant Hill Pistons uniforms. That was like a green or a blue with like the black piston horse. So you almost had like I can't even
look like a chess piece horse.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a chess piece, but it was like kind of pulled at the feet or whatever.
That was cool.
I think that one went pretty hard.
Was this a top 5 on the Brilliantly Dumb show? Maybe that's what it was.
It might have been, yeah.
I had it on this. I remember saying that jersey on this for whatever reason.
I always go with the Chargers powder blue.
Yeah,
those are good.
Danny Tomlinson.
That question's right up your alley, All right, let's close it down. Last question here.
Zach Botnick with 3 H's wants to know what was the top 3 hardest laughs in the channel's history.
Number one, number one, clear as day.
I think we all have one of the garage door, right? I mean,
I'll give you a sleeper, by the way. So Joe Garage Door, I think, is number one. The sleeper maybe hardest we laughed in the funniest video is when we all found out that we went up a shirt size in Virginia.
That was really good.
Yeah. That in that
What
back
about
river.
That's up there, man.
what about the one where Bob left the putt like 50 yards short?
Yeah.
And
The
I
fireball.
broke down just fucking. We were high, or no, we were drunk. We were on the fireball challenge, and I was just die. I think collectively that video, we did not stop laughing the whole fucking round. There's also some of the drives down. We've had some hysterical laughs. Like remember even the last time we had the RV, we were just cracking up the whole time. There's so many good jokes. But yeah, that garage door, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Bob
any
watching
of our commutes in the car together end up being pretty ridiculous, especially the further it goes, the more ridiculous it gets. I
That
think
drive
anything we go through a drive-through and we get an order, like a big old order rolling, that'll get the people going.
That's a guarantee. All right, boys. Well, yeah, we got a big week ahead. We're off to Myrtle Beach. Keep an eye out for the content we have coming. I think we have a video with Grant coming out soon. That's going to be coming out as well. We love you, folks. We appreciate you, folks. Make sure you subscribe to the program there. That has been another edition, the Bob Does Sports Podcast. We'll see you next time.